We basically design and manufacture beaded jewellery. I started the business in 1999, so we're in our 11th year, and the business has continued to grow since its very beginning. We predominantly sell to the trade, so to gift shops and some fashion boutiques, and we supply about 1,000 accounts within the UK and Ireland, and we are looking to go further afield. We actually manufacture the jewellery ourselves here. We have a team of outworkers, 25 outworkers, who make the jewellery and come in on a weekly basis. And then we also have a team of 12 sales agents who are out on the road selling the product. And then we also attend trade shows to sell. So we do about 7 of those a year. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's very creative designing jewellery, and I think one of the things that was a strong point for us is the fact that we use a lot computer-wise. Everything that we do, from our stock to how we manage things, is done via computers, and technology is one of the reasons why we can be so efficient and do what we do and manufacture in Wales. So I think that's quite a strong mix between the computer side and the creative designing side with beads.
I know that you've won awards. Is that the reason why you've won them, or can you tell us a bit more about how that's worked?
I did win one of the awards, was to do with the creative side and innovation, but also the Young Business Achiever, that was basically on how much I'd achieved in the first few years of business. And then the Welsh Woman Award was, again, just to do with how much I'd achieved in the sort of 8 years that I'd been in business. Mm-hmm. And they've been great, actually. Winning the awards has been very, very rewarding. Also, the actual process of doing the awards, I think, has been very good, because it's time to sort of, you have to reflect on what you've done. You have to complete quite comprehensive applications, and that gives you a chance to review how you're doing things, and the goals that you've set for yourself is very much like doing a business plan. So I've found that actually has been a good thing to do.
What sort of questions have you been asked?
Well, all the applications that I've done have been very extensive. So they've asked for profit and loss, to your forecasts, so lots of financial figures. But then they've also asked, in particular the Welsh Woman one, was more interested in the processes involved in growing the business, how I've managed my time, work-life balance, successes, failures, and challenges. A lot about challenges, yeah.
Brilliant, okay. And so 10 years, 11 years on, where do you continue to get your creativity from?
Well, I'm really passionate about beads. Ultimately, that's what it's always been about for me. When I first started, it was because I loved beads and wanted to do what I could with them, and obviously jewellery is the perfect thing. So I'm very lucky that I can still come into work every week and I enjoy what I do. And in particular, sourcing new beads from all over the world, that's wonderful. It's very, very exciting. So it's looking how we can continue to find new beads, do new products, maybe looking at branching and doing more things with the beads. Or now we've got quite an established sort of network for sales with our agents and the shows, that we could actually look at other products that would sit well with what we do. And it's one of the reasons when I started the business, I didn't call it Carrie Elspeth Jewellery, because I always thought that we would probably do other products. And in the early days, I did cards and wrapping paper. And then we focused on the jewellery. And I'd like to think now we're at a stage where we could look at doing other things too. I think it is really important. I think the business planning side is very important. I think if you don't have a focus, you could end up sort of drifting all over the place. You know, I've had times where I've maybe struggled as to what my focus was, but I think it is essential. You know where you want to go, what you need to achieve. Now we've kind of hit our 10-year milestone and had great successes, and the new premises, and which we've only been in 4 weeks. So there's been lots going on, but we need to sit down now and look at what we'd like to achieve in the next 5 years. It is a very competitive market. At some of the trade shows I go to, there's about 800 jewellery exhibitors. So why pick us? And I think it's because we have sort of sounds a bit cheesy, but a complete package. We have a product that's well designed and is always changing because we bring out 3 collections a year, so there's always something new for people to look at. But the fact that it's made in Wales, people are more conscious of where products are coming from and carbon footprint and all of this. So the fact that we make it here is also another strong point. But then we have all the back side of it, the fact that we give exceptional customer service. We have a great team of girls here who are brilliant with that. Because we manufacture it ourselves, we hold quite a lot of stock, which means we can always supply quite quickly. And obviously the technology side, the fact that we're so computer based, we can do all these things very efficiently. So I think it's all of those things together is why we're doing so well. You know, we pride ourselves on the quality and the customer service. I think women are brilliant at multitasking that men just can't do. They might try. I think women can be exceptionally supportive in a different way to men, and I do think women can be as competitive and as driven. You know, throughout my experience being in business, I have found it frustrating at times because, especially in the early days, people didn't take me that seriously because I was just a young Welsh girl, you know, playing at beads possibly, and I imagine some people might see me like that now. But it hasn't stopped me and it's never held me back, and I don't know whether it would have been different if I was a man. I don't know whether I should say this. You know, it's quite difficult. Since my husband joined the business, I've found it, you know, we can have meetings with people and sometimes we'll direct the conversation to him, not to me, and things like that. But that's just part of the course, and if you know, it depends on your personality how you deal with these sort of things. It hasn't ever bothered me. In the early days, all I did was work, and then once I had a family, obviously I had to get a work-life balance, which is a very, very big challenge and continues to be one now. You know, as a mother, you feel that you want to, guilty if you don't have enough time with your children, but I also see the business a bit like my third baby, and if I don't give the business enough time. So it really is a juggling act. But I definitely think once you get a reasonable balance, then you work better at both things. If you put yourself under too much stress and work, if I work too long hours, then I'm not good with work and I'm not good at home either. So, but it's a constant challenge, and we have busy times of the year when, you know, work comes first, and then there's lots going on with the children come first. So, yeah, and I think as a woman, I want the best of both worlds. I want to do the business, but I don't want to miss out on any of the family things either. Whereas I'm sure men can sort of switch off a little bit from that, possibly. We're about to do another 5-year plan to look at what we want to achieve. For me, it's very much about the products, so I'd like to do new products. We've talked about doing a wedding range. We've got Opulence, which is our limited edition collection, which is a much higher price point, and we're developing that as a brand and, you know, making the range bigger. So that's all in the pipeline. And then whether we look at doing more exporting, because obviously we do Southern Ireland and we supply a couple of accounts in America and Europe, but that could be something that we could also develop. Yeah, so lots.